If I get there early in the morning, he would come in from the garden. He'd been out sleeping under the stars in the garden in the morning. One day, in the outpatient clinic, I saw a young middle-aged woman who spoke very good English. Most of the people who are educated speak English. It's their second language that they learn in school. She spoke good English, but I couldn't make any sense out of what she was saying. So, being of the old school, I told the nurse to get her undressed, and I'd come back and I'd do a physical exam, see if I could find anything. I left like doctors do, and I waited the appropriate period of time. I knocked on the door, opened it up, and walked in, and there she stood in the buff, right by the examining table. In a panic, she picked up the sheet, covered her head, and froze. Of course, the nurse came around and put her up on the table. What else did I see there? Got one other experience. Oh, yeah. This is. I was called as on call for medicine at one time, and the nurse said that it was from the gynecology department, and they wanted me to come see a patient who had some laboratory tests that returned, and the gynecologist wondered what it might reflect. When I got there, the nurse said, well, this was a Bedouin woman who had been operated on a major operation, an abdominal operation, 3 days earlier, and she was doing fine. The day before, they had removed all the catheters from her bladder and the suction and IV fluids, and she was doing fine. And in the morning that I saw her, the nurse went in to see her, and she wasn't in her bed. And she looked in the bathroom, and there this woman was standing on the toilet, squatting over the bowl, urinating. Now you got to understand the mental attitude of a woman born, raised, and living in the desert all her life. She has probably never seen a Western toilet, and certainly had never used one before. And she walked into that room and saw that, as opposed to a little hole in the floor, which she might have been used to. I don't know what she was thinking. Well, it wasn't. These types of things happen, and many of them on almost a daily basis. But before long, it became time to leave after 1 year. And when you go to the travel office at the hospital, they make all the arrangements for you to leave all your ticket and so forth. And then a day or two later, they call you and they give you a piece of paper with your picture on it and all the information that would be in your igama, which you surrender at that moment. The igama being the Arabian passport. You give up your igama and you get this piece of paper that you have to carry with you and take to the airport with you. It has all the information in the passport, plus it tells anyone who might be interested when you're going to leave the country and on what date and what time you're going to leave the country. So you get to the airport and you go through baggage and you get your ticket. And then you walk along the line and you come to the immigration person. He's sitting up on a platform and he's got a computer in front of him, and you give him your piece of paper. He reads it, he types on his computer, and what that is if there's any reason whatsoever that anyone doesn't want you to leave the country, it comes up on the computer. And fortunately, I was able, I didn't have any traffic tickets or anything else that I hadn't paid, and so I passed, and in an unsmiling way, the way most bureaucrats do, just sort of waved me on, and one of the security people who was sitting next to him hands me my passport, which is the first time I've seen my passport after you're there, and you can't leave the country without your passport, you know, so We talk about a border problem we've got here. Let me tell you, you can't get in that country when I was there unless you're invited. When you're there, you give up your passport. You get your Arabian passport, and you must carry that with you at all times because they have roadblocks where they just stop traffic routinely and find out who's traveling on the roads. When you leave the area that you, like I was in Riyadh, where I wanted to go to Jeddah or I wanted to go to Khobar on the Persian Gulf, you have to apply a month ahead of time for permission to do that, and you're given a piece of paper that you take with you that tells any security people that would stop you, yes, you're based in Riyadh, but you're traveling and you've been given permission to travel to a certain place and back, and you carry this type of information at all times. Well, I passed without being stopped by security, and you might remember when I started this, I said that they flew me over first class and that you could get quite interested in the comfort and luxury of first class travel, particularly for long distance. Now, I don't make a lot out of this, but when I was sent home, they sent me in a coach. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer.
If you have any questions, stand up, would you please, so I can get to you?
Jim.
Was there any particular reason the king changed his title from king? I'm over here. Any reason he changed his title from king to protector of the temple?